This channel is for immature audiences only. It is not for children, only for childish adults. We might play some video games that kids also like, but we say words like fuck and shit with alarming frequency and make crude, inappropriate, and morbid jokes all the damn time. Level 0 NPCs assumes no responsibility if your idiot spawn watches this and gets traumatized.
It's kind of a normal length one. Yeah, it's true. Our original aim was about 15 minutes an episode, so like...
Can you put the episode cut right after Matt said short? It's not a short, abrupt stop next episode.
Done.
Oh, that means we're in the new one. And they got to hear that.
Yep. Welcome back, everybody.
Wow,
Hey.
That's great. Hey, everybody. It was not short, all right?
Not particularly.
All right?
I mean, it was short for the precedent that we've recently
I know, but usually it's because we're not paying attention, and then,
Well...
Wow.
or we just don't
This
mind.
Well, that too. That too.
Yeah.
We're having goulash. You don't want to know. You really don't want to know. You eat it. You've tasted worse. I don't feel like I don't want to help no man. I can't be the only one.
We've already helped.
I know, but I don't want to do it.
No Man was fending off some assassins and ended up having, in self-defense, to turn those assassins into goulash.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, yeah, we got some questions for Glory. Run it, hit it.
Oh shit! I didn't cue it up. Hold on. One second.
No, it's too.
I can take care of it. I can do this. Hold on.
It's too late.
There it goes.
No, fuck. You know what? It's worth hearing every time.
It is. Yeah. I had to scramble, but I knew where it was. It didn't take a lot of effort.
Oh man. Okay, strategy and snark. Yeah, half of what we are, and it ain't the strategy part. Hey, question for Glory. Damn. What movie sequel would you unmake for the greatest increase in overall series quality? And how and to what extent further installments are affected by this removal is up to you. Oh, so you could keep like the third and fourth movie? Oh.
That's tough.
Like...
There's so many good answers. It's hard to even distill them down.
Yeah. And after this, by the way, we'll just do a brief overview of some of the answers we got back and adding a 2 into the title.
It's true. We gave you some homework and you all delivered.
But
that's
we
true.
Appreciate that.
We need to earn that though by answering this question.
Yes.
There's a lot of crushing sequels out there, but I do skip a lot of them. It's a sequel to a sequel. But I hear Alien 3 was a bummer. Now, I didn't actually see it.
I think people disliked Alien 3 in the moment, but when you go back and look at it, and especially when you look at it in the context of what came afterward, Alien 3 was pretty good.
It did a little bit give a big fuck you to Aliens, which is why I think a lot of people had problems with it.
Yeah, it Space Quest 6'd Aliens.
Yes, it did. It took two characters who tried so fucking hard to survive and killed them off screen.
Yeah, I actually quite like that Ripley was the protagonist and not Hicks, especially where what's his face who played Hicks was that was his deal. He was like a sci-fi hero guy.
Yeah.
I like that he took a back seat in the movie. Still felt like a disservice to just kill him in between,
Yep.
Yeah.
As an aside.
And the child they rescued. No big deal.
Yeah.
That's what a drag. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of a drag. It's kind of...
Did people dislike Newt as a character?
No. Nobody disliked
No?
nude.
Okay. I'm wondering, right? Because, like, we have the benefit of, like, decades after the movie is over. I don't know what, like, sentiment was at the time. I remember Alien 3 because there was quite a gap between Aliens and Alien 3. Alien 3 came out, like, late enough to have a Super Nintendo game based off of it.
Yeah.
It's Ripley sacrificed so much to rescue Newt. Like, there was that crazy action sequence where she's all alone in the end with a
Bishop
a gun.
would have made it just fine if they had left Newt behind.
Like, there's so many ways to write out a character, too. We were just talking about bad writing in shows and stuff earlier before we started recording. And, like, this is a situation invented by the writers, right? They control everything. The whole world is whatever they decide it is. So, like, I just have so little tolerance for shitty ideas. And just, like, shitty solutions to problems. Just change the situation that they're in if you don't like it. Like, why? I don't know.
No, I follow, man. Like, I absolutely follow.
Yeah. I think it was a bummer to make that move. I think the movie on its own is fine.
There's a better answer to that that's not coming to me.
Well, here's the thing.
There's a sequel that really there's plenty of sequels out there that really fucked up franchises.
They did, but, like, here's the thing about sequels that fuck up franchises. Most people just sort of ignore them. You need a sequel that ruined and, like, made the first movie worse. You know? Like something like Speed 2 Cruise Control. I actually think that maybe that made the first Speed movie worse. Nobody really talks about Speed anymore. That was a fantastic movie. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, we need to keep because it's hilarious. One of the worst movies ever made. I hate that fucking movie, but I also love watching it.
All of the Land Before Time sequels, they turned it into this, like, sing-songy, like...
That is true.
Like, sugary cereal drivel.
Yeah.
For kids, when the original Land Before Time is like a masterwork of like dark animation.
I actually have a funny answer for this. Get rid of Karate Kid Part 2. Keep 1 and 3.
Whoa.
Because they'll just come back talking about their adventures.
Like... I love the U in homunculus as if it's an adjective.
Homunculus.
Like, what a great joke. That's homunculus.
That's homunculus. Where are we?
It's like a shitty Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where instead of turtles, they're homunculi. And instead of radical, they go, that's homunculus!
Where are we? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, the king's ring shimmers. You feel a strong tingling sensation from it. The heat of the lava pool sears your flesh. As you approach, you can't be near with taking damage unless you use some shit.
There we go. Look at this.
Oh, the ring of truth. With the ring of truth, you can never tell a lie, nor can you hear a lie without knowing it. That's the more impressive one. You're going to make a shitty thief now.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, unless somebody asks me if I'm a thief, and then we're kind of fucked.
Can you just not answer?
No, it's easy.
Take the ring off first.
If someone asks you a question you don't want to answer, just answer, how could you ask me that?
How could you ask me that? Okay, yeah, so now that, well, Luke, do you have a good answer for a sequel you'd like to wipe off the map?
I had 2 weeks to respond, to think of an answer to this. I failed, I'm afraid.
Teen Wolf 2?
Teen Wolf 2?
Teen Wolf 2? It's a big one.
Yeah, I don't know if Teen Wolf itself matters that much for Teen Wolf 2 to have to be stricken.
But can you what if Teen Wolf 2 made Teen Wolf 1 matter less? Do you know what I mean? Like, we can't know.
There are sequels that rob the original of their momentum. Like Land Before Time's the best example I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There's just was never going to be another interesting one. Not that I really wanted there to be a sequel in the first place.
Every made-for-TV Disney sequel.
Yeah, they're all pretty...
Oh, yeah, those are bad. Those are really so bad.
All of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them, yeah. No, it's...
I don't think that there was a single one that didn't do something to detract from its, like...
So I love me some Star Wars. And for context of where I sit in the timeline of things, I'm the same age as Jake Lloyd, that poor kid who played Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy. And being that age, things that bothered Star Wars fans, like Jar Jar Binks and shit like that, it didn't bother me so much because I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
From my perspective, it was all pretty stupid. So not being stupid has never been a requirement for me for Star Wars. And not kind of sucking has never been a requirement of things that I like. I did find it was kind of a bummer how the directors of the new trilogy just played dueling banjos with the plot. I thought that was like, I don't know. It hurt my heart a bit. I liked lots of stuff in those sequels. I think it's a world of your imagining. Just agree on what it's going to be and tell a fucking story about it. Like they could have been grown-ups about it.
I agree. Yeah. That was so shitty.
And like it had kind of like it put kind of a stank on like a lot of the other Star Wars media I've been watching. I don't know if it's just because it put me in a bad mood about it or what, but yeah.
That I completely agree. I'm with you.
I agree with that one. I actually do have an answer that I think is actually pretty important and pretty good. And this is something that we've played on the show. Police Quest Open Season. I mean, it was good content for us. And I mean, like, Police Quests 1 through 3 had their own problems, but just glorifying Daryl Gates at all for any reason, but like bringing him in to kind of like, not that Sierra's reputation, as far as I know, was extremely pristine to begin with, but that just kind of sours like the taste of like, Ken Williams even, who, decided it was a good idea to bring Daryl Gates over to consult on a Police Quest game. And I mean, like, they completely got rid of all of the any reference to Police Quest, Sunny Bonds, and all that until deeper into the series in SWAT. And I think that was just like fan service more than actually caring whether Sunny Bonds actually existed or not. But like, it really does sour the Police Quest series on the whole. And I mean, like, I consider myself like reasonably anti-fascist and all of that. I'm not a big fan of the police. So like, I recognize that there's also inherent problems in the Police Quest series to begin with, because it is propaganda, so to speak. But like, there's Police Quest 1 through 3, and then there's Police Quest Open Season.
And the series never was the same. Like, it never really got back to its roots.
Well, it never recovered as a point-and-click adventure game, right? Like, SWAT came out. And I mean, like, that's not 100% the fault of Police Quest Open Season. There was a change of the tides, as it were. Point-and-click adventure games were not profitable at the time because of the shift over to 3 dimensions, and point-and-click adventure games not faring amazingly well in point-and-click. And 3D.
Could you make the argument, though, that Open Season maybe over time made people appreciate Police Quest 1, 2, and 3 more?
Oh, like, I certainly think Police Quests 1, 2, and 3, and even like Codename Iceman and Blue Force, I have a greater positive appreciation for, but at the same time, I just don't think that should have been made.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. All right, yeah. So, yeah, you're going to unmake it. Good answers. Good answers.
Yeah. So
now we get to hear everybody's answers for adding their Krull.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Give us... So here is the assignment for those of you who, for whatever inexplicable reason, either don't remember or weren't here when we made the assignment to our loyal PCs. was in the manner of naming Krull 2 or any other sequel by replacing one of the letters with the number 2 or the number of the sequel. You can significantly reduce the quality of that product from that step alone. Even more so if you choose it in a very bad position, like KR2LL.
Yes. So that was the biggest
bonus points for a movie that truly does not need a sequel, or for which a sequel would be baffling.
Okay. So we're just gonna go down.
So the assignment was, tell us what other movies would be significantly diminished, or it would be insulting for them to have a title where one of the letters was replaced with a 2. Give us your bad sequel titles.
Yeah.
Let's have them.
Okay, here we go. So Strategy and Snark says the sequel to Secondhand Lions would be literally Secondhand Lions with a 2.
2 ND Hand Lions, yeah.
Yeah, 2 ND Hand Lions. Like, and as I point out, there's nowhere for the story to go, so obviously Hollywood, like, that ended. That movie just ended. There's no way to make a sequel to that. It's great.
I like the choice of a movie that, like, there's an extra layer of confusion if you just start putting 2s in there. Like, way deeper than it would be for a normal movie title.
That's great.
I appreciate the cleverness of that choice.
Yeah,
for sure.
Joseph Davies says they couldn't invent a worse sequel naming than Disney's Tron 2, which was Turtuan. No way to make
R2N.
Yeah, there's no way to make that make sense, and saying it out loud is terribly awkward. Game-wise, I think the Myth series could have, but thankfully didn't suffer from this. Imagine Mytoot. MY2T.
I think you have to spell it out, Matt. I think you gotta spell it out.
MY2T. MIIIST. I hate that.
That's basically the naming convention of the Goblins series.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But there's chaos there, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
MYS.
It's meant to be chaos.
MYS4. Oh. And MY5T. That's so horrible. He also has a question for Glory, but we'll get to that in a minute. 12 Op says the 2TR TAR Wars Holiday 2PECIAL. The Star Wars Holiday Special. Gross. Idris, however,
that one, like, that's an incomprehensible sequel.
Yes, it is. There's no reason.
Laws would have to be broken.
I almost actually.
I have great appreciation for Idris's choice.
So I almost said this, but I didn't. I didn't last week, and I'm so glad, because I would not have put the 2 where it is. And that would be, of course, Schindler's List 2, which is SCHI 2 DLER's list. I would not have put it in the end spot.
It was extra credit to find the least optimal letter, and you nailed it.
That's upsetting. It's like it's an insult to the eye.
Yeah. I'm so glad that it just
to the human eye itself.
It's horrible. It does not need a sequel. It's amazing. 12 has a couple more. Yellow Submarine 2, which is Y22LLOW Submarine. I don't know why there's 2 2s.
Yeah, there's only one E.
But that's okay.
Well, it's because there were 21 other sequels, is why.
Yes, of course. And a movie that needed no sequel, Amadeus, or should I say 2M2DEUS. I don't know.
Replacing both A's.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. So yeah.
I thought of one in the intervening weeks, which is, of course, Passion of the Christ, but with a 2 in place of, I think, both the A in Passion and the I in Christ. The Petution of the Cretused.
Woo! Yeah.
I can almost imagine a plot for that. Like,
oh yeah, that's not.
It would have to be a stupid action movie, I think.
Yeah,
like John Wick, but with Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of what John Wick is,
basically.
So going very deep down the rabbit hole, Final Fantasy X-2.
oh.
This one comes from me.
Oh.
But FIN2L fantasy.
That's
X.
That's gross.
Hyphen.
Yeah, not into that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
It's gross. New levels of incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Yeah. A sequel
to the part 2.
A sequel of a game deep within a series. A sequel to the 10th game in a series.
Oh.
That is not 12 or 11.
Yeah.
But indeed, 10.75 at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
It is weird to do a mid-series sequel, isn't it?
Well,
we were just talking Star Wars, Return of the Jedi 2. Go back to the original trilogy, make a sequel in between other movies to one of those.
I mean, they kind of did that with, Rogue One.
Yeah, and I guess Mandalorian 2 is a bit that.
Rogue One is basically a New Hope 2.
It's actually, I think, an immediate prequel to The New Hope, because it's...
it is.
It ends with the Darth Vader scene, which I thought was a clever bit of...
Oh, you're right.
I think that's kind of what the new trilogy did, was it kind of backed us into that corner, where, the Mandalorian is taking place in that dwindling circle of firelight between the original trilogy and the new trilogy.
Yeah, because they made sure that the future wasn't interesting. So anyway, hey.
It's the same reason why every Star Trek TV series goes backward in time instead of forward.
Yeah. We have a question for Glory from Joseph Davies. And it actually has to do with Quest for Glory. Which Quest for Glory setting?
Astounding.
I know. Which Quest for Glory setting has felt the most alive and immersive, and why? That's an easy one for me.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah. I have an answer, but I'd love to hear yours.
It's definitely 4 because it was just as frustrating as real life. And dealing with people.
Answer.
Dealing with people and the NPCs in that, they were just so people. They were just so gross. Oh, I hated it.
There is something to what you're saying there, yeah. The original one was Spielburg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's partly because the relatively simplistic art style kind of abstracted everything and shunted it into the world of your imagination a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I found was a bit engaging. Quest about just going on a little text box adventure game and playing wizard chess and finding out that the princess was the bandit chief and stuff like that.
And there's
I found it very engaging.
There was weird, it was weirdly cozy when you went to sleep, even in the hermit's hut and in my fucking piece and in Irana's piece and even in the stables. It just there's something in the healer's hut. Everything just was so I loved it.
Yeah. It was a very sort of cozy little valley with, tight, close forest and what have you. I don't disagree with you. I think you get that same level of theater of the imagination of the EGA And it was like masterful, like late era VGA or EGA. But also, what I loved most about Trial by Fire, Quest for Glory 2, was how alive and vibrant Shapier seemed. Because, like, you know, there's just people wandering around, right? Like, you've got this massive city, and, like, you'd come to a crossroads, and some rando people would just kind of pass by, presumably having a conversation. There'd be people shopping at the stalls and stuff like that, whereas, like, everywhere else in Quest for Glory, the only one that's even kind of come a little bit close to it is 5 here. But, like, this is the first, or Quest for Glory 2 was the first place, I think, in all of the Quest for Glory series where there were NPCs who were not there to basically just serve you and help you advance the plot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The only thing that took me out of the immersion, like, because the people were definitely immersive, the NPCs were, but I found the endless samey corridors of those cities to be non-immersive.
Sure. I mean, you know, the
world
the
itself.
Corridors. Yeah, but I mean, like, the minute you were out into one of those plazas, and I mean, like, I actually think that that's one of the things that, although I do kind of like just wandering around the plazas of Quest for Glory 2, I wish there was more content there. But that's one of the things that the AGDI folks did right with the Quest for Glory 2 remake that they made, was they really simplified down Shapier because, you know, obviously they didn't need the copy protection of just a maze for players to wander around in. But
yeah,
you know, I'll criticize many things that the AGDI folks did with Quest for Glory 2, but that's definitely not one of them. Simplifying Shapier down.
Yeah, no, and that's the only part I found is that it's just like, I don't know if they would. I don't know. This is very.
There's kind of a.
Nothing says desert city like giant stone walls.
There's kind of a tide that ebbs and flows to game development, where the introduction of new technology, in a way, will make a game smaller than it had been, because they push the envelope technologically rather than in terms of gameplay, and then it sort of comes and goes like that, where there's a game that's kind of more limited because most of the energy went into making new technology, and then another generation of games that uses that technology and then adds things that you can do with it, and then it kind of goes back and forth like that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. A very thoughtful answer. You know, we put some thought into that.
We're not going to tell you which one it was, though.
Yeah, one of us put thought into it.
The rest of them were just off the cuff.
The rest of us were mindless sea urchin answers.
Yeah, well, I mean, as we've established, I am a non-sentient cosmic entity. I don't put thought into anything that I say.
No. We are all projecting that based on our madness. I'm just yammering. The words are happening inside of your minds, if that makes sense. Yes, we're actually perfectly evolved to interpret that and make reality of it, and that's good. It's good for us. What you hear as my voice is your brain shielding itself.
Alex is gibbering and vibrating and releasing cosmic rays your brain into your mind.
And the wet popping sounds
by hearing English or whatever in your mind.
Yeah. We got a question for Krull too. Don't worry about it.
We do.
Oh, should we play the theme?
Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
Holding on.
Here it goes.
Oh, God.
Just to get all mad about it, we actually heard the whole thing that time. Usually the audio filter catches the voice at the end.
But not this time.
We were treated to the glory of the full theme.
The whole thing.
It might have helped that I was starting to talk over it a little bit, so it was like, oh, I shouldn't hide this.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this is less of a question for Krull and more of a question for Krull. But here we go.
Excellent.
Will comedian Nick Krull be involved in Krull?
Over my dead body.
Perhaps as the voice of the glaive, we can do better. We can do better.
I find the guy deeply annoying. At least twice as annoying as he is funny. No, absolutely not. He's not a friend of the show. He's not a friend of the show.
Wow.
I'm asserting that.
It's on the shit list.
Is he on the shit list?
I used my once ever veto already for something stupid. I don't even remember what it was. I'm going to use Lou's once ever veto.
That's fair.
No Nick Krull. No, absolutely not.
Okay, fair enough.
That guy can fuck right off.
Even though his last name is sort of very similar to the which I assume is the whole point of the question. No, though, not going to happen.
No.
Not gonna
Thanks
happen.
for the question, by the way.
Maybe a little Nick Offerman.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Offerman? Well, yeah, or Walken. Christopher Walken is the voice of the glaive. Hey, I didn't die in the fire. Wow.
Stop leaving me embedded in
there.
monsters.
That's wild. I can't believe
I'll
that.
come back.
You know there's only the one of me, right?
Nobody could have ever called that. Ever. I don't know. Love it. Yeah, no Nick Krull.
I think we should actually just put like a slightly distorted Christopher Walken face just holographically in the red gem in the center of the glaive.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah, I think his face should just be his face that appears there, as if he's
Just
imprisoned
talking
inside
like
the
the
glaive.
magic mirror in fucking Wizard of Oz. Or Cinderella? Whatever.
What? For what? The magic mirror?
Oh, no, way better idea.
White.
The guy who played the elder in Krull, he died, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
We'll get Christopher Walken to play him, and he's trapped in the glaive. His soul is trapped in the glaive somehow for some reason. And for some other reason, he's Christopher Walken.
Lovely. Amazing. We need to do a whole podcast on Krull so we can really
Just get it out of our system.
We need to cast it and get a basic story going.
We'll do it as a stage production. I think that's what it deserves.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh man, one day we'll do a.
Thank you, Luke. I was about to say
we'll do a radio drama.
Oh, a radio drama.
Of Krull.
That's actually our medium.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
We'll do it.
Kind of is.
Yeah, we'll do a radio drama of Krull. Oh, this is going to be great. Ugh. I'll get busy on a script. Me, of all people, will get busy on a script.
I'd want to do like really ham-fisted Foley to really transport people.
Oh yeah.
To our echoey apartments where we just smash stuff together.
We just and the dialogue needs to be awesome. Like Colwyn going, "I think we're on Earth." like he knows what Earth is.
What context would he have for that?
I know. It's gonna be great.
As an aside, I'm always skeptical of settings where characters have a name for their planet that's not Earth or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it implies they've always had some conception that their planet was not the main one.
That's true.
Like, okay, yeah, I'm an ape creature. I have my feet on the solid ground. I have a concept of up and down, but already I'm not buying it. You know, the solidity of the stones beneath my feet and the only sky I have ever known. Skeptical. I bet there's another different like world that's the real one, and this is some bullshit fantasy one that's gonna need a name so as to distinguish it.
If there was a planet that was like very visible in the sky, or like aliens on like their moon or like several moons, I think you'd have a better idea of your cosmology from the very beginning.
You'd think, but like Earth has one of the best moons. Like if you do a ranking of moons, it's really impressive. It's very round. It's almost misleading as to what moons are going to be like. Like, it's fucking magnificent. And we just kind of look up at the sky. It's like, yeah, it's the moon. It's the moon. It's clearly secondary to us.
But also, you gotta account for the fact that humans just aren't really good at naming things. Like
true.
Traditionally, real bad. Like,
people did like personify the Earth, the moon, stuff like that. So it's not that we didn't have narratives about it.
No,
I am skeptical that like
the people who do the discovering and naming, maybe not the most creative people. Important, we do need them. Not necessarily creative.
It's just our planet is not called Krull.
I wish it was. Oh, that would be so awesome.
Yeah, if one day we enter intergalactic society, like it'll probably come to pass that pretty much every planet has a name that's essentially Earth or home or something. And the first rule for joining galactic society is that you have to choose a different name
for your planet. Yeah.
It's
you can't say Terra because that also means ground.
Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta give it a name distinct from other names, sort of as an acknowledgement that we're all in this together. And I think we should choose Krull.
Let's do it.
I'm in. That's 3 votes.
That's all you need.
It's gonna be a while before we get a majority on that one, but
Oh no, I mean we just meeting adjourned. I'll tally the votes. We got 3-4-0 against. It's decided.
Everyone else abstained. They just weren't here for it.
No, I mean, that's on them.
Working agreements. If you weren't there for the meeting, then you tacitly agree to the results thereof. So
I mean, we've been here.
Yeah.
It's the world's fault for not showing up.
Yeah, it was your fault, world. Jesus Christ.
We just have to be the ones to tell the intergalactic society first. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. That shouldn't be a problem.
No, we voted. It's fine.
Yeah.
I would change my trajectory through space, to go make contact. But 2 problems with that. 1, entirely non-sentient, have no control over where I go. And 2, they would just shoot at me. They would just blast me out of the sky.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, which would just anger you, and then you'd end up swallowing a part of reality, and nobody wants that.
You thought that magnificent moon was what is controlling the tides?
No.
It's Alex.
No.
I keep missing the planet. I'm really bad at feeding myself. Well, it's just that Matt and Luke have been successfully fending me off over the years. So that I'm in kind of in a wide elliptical orbit and just constantly missing the planet.
Who knew it was just because all we needed was retro video games? That's all we needed this whole time. Well, there you go. That's all.
Good thing Alex arrived post YouTube and
I know.
Like, Video Game Society.
Can you imagine?
We'd have been fucked if he got here in the Dark Ages.
Actually, it's your you guys are just the latest use. It was your. You guys have been. We've been doing this over and over again. It's not always video games. But
no, absolutely. No.
Throughout history,
like there's gonna be someone after us.
Yeah, there was like that's what most of the petroglyphs were about.
Yeah,
that was like For some reason, they just really entertained and repelled me. But yeah,
Solid.
A long time ago, you were really into cave paintings.
I mean, I was pretty starved for stimulus and all, on my long sidereal voyage.
Yeah, as starved as someone without sentience could be.
Yeah. Well, I said I didn't have sentience. I didn't say I didn't have hunger. Let's be clear about that. That's practically all I have.
Oh, man. So that's it for the questions for Glory. That's it for the questions for Krull. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing your homework. And it only took us, 30 minutes to get through all of that.
It's true.
Those were really
made
good
up
questions.
For the short episode.
Nobody fucking watches the first episode anyway. Nobody comments on it. Only, the numbers are way smaller. I don't get it.
It's because we release the both in one day, and people come and watch them all at once, so that they comment. So they comment on the one they're watching when.
No, I get why, but it's maybe we don't spend as much time on episode 1. You know what I mean?
That's strictly true.
Maybe we shouldn't.
I know where Matt's coming from. I think some of the activity we get on episode 2 is because episode 1, people just comment at the end. There are a few times where I think I say something like particularly clever in the first episode, and then it just doesn't get commented on because it's in the first episode. And it's a bit of a bummer to watch it back later, and then, I wonder if anyone commented on that. It's like, no. They saved their comments for episode 2, and by then it was forgotten.
Nobody cares. You know? It's fine.
We also give our homework and other things like that in episode 2 usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're signing off for the day. Speaking of homework, really stellar work all around, everybody. Those were some truly nauseating sequel names. They're probably made for some baffling audio content because we're half spelling, half pronouncing things.
I might, if I'm feeling particularly adventurous tomorrow evening, mock up those titles.
That would be delightful, but we won't hold you to it.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect you to do that. You guys already know by now if he did or not.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just experiencing
it.
You experienced
now you're
it.
just hearing where I'm really kind of sort of committing to it, but not.
Or not
so if
forever.
you didn't see it, then tomorrow I really wasn't feeling it.
Time is crazy.
Yeah. Or I was tired. I have to take my cat to the vet tomorrow, so, we'll see.
We'll see what happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, I hope.
No. Well, as far as I know.
Just new cat stuff.
New cat stuff, yeah. Just figuring her out.
Yeah, figuring her out. All the organs are in the right places.
Supposedly.
All right,
just gonna reconfirm that.
The vet just picks up the cat, looks at it, just goes pale. This is not a cat.
That, by the way, was the best joke in Miss Marvel, or in Captain Marvel, the fucking movie. The Flurkin. It was so good. When anytime an alien saw the cat, they were like, that's not a fucking cat. It was so good.
Get that thing away from me.
It's great.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
And
we'll see you next time.
And thanks, Matt and Luke, as always, for fulfilling your cyclical obligation to this planet that you've been fulfilling in your many incarnations over the centuries.
I'm not going to go ahead and ask for thanks from humanity for holding you off, but it would be nice.
These guys, they've been putting the work in.
We're knocking off.
And this is just one little, setup too. There's lots of people doing this for other cosmic horrors out there.
Yeah,
the universe is so big.
So big. This costs us health and sanity points. So, it's fine. It's fine.
It's like it's like the Earth is one of the tastiest little blue marbles around in a big cold nothing. Everything out there wants to devour it.
Yeah. It's covered in pepper.
It's the
true.
only
there is a lot of pepper down here.
It's the only little speck of taste and warmth just anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the efforts of people like Matt and Luke to be just annoying enough that all of the things salivating over the world just kind of glance off and circle back in another 100 million years.
We're doing our best. We're doing what we can. Join us next week for when we'll use that ring. Hard. No, we're gonna use it hard. No.
We're gonna use it hard.
No, we're gonna use it hard. When are we gonna get to see Rakesh again?
I don't know. Maybe never.
I'm fine with that, by the way.
Maybe the outro.
He's like
the outro.
He's like a character played by an actor who was embroiled in a public scandal, where they just write them out.
Yeah, I like Cara Dune on the Mandalorian.
Yeah, Marshall, what's her face? What happened to her? Who cares?
She got hired by someone in another place. Anyways, All right. We're just dated the show. We promised we weren't going to do that.
Oh, yeah, we weren't going to, and then we did.
I don't know. Gina Carano fucking self-destructed more than a year ago at this point.
I know, but it's now fun to watch that happening now. In real life.
Maybe the Mandalorian is no longer relevant at some point in
It
the
is
distant future when people are stumbling upon this episode.
It is funny how the world just moves on, though.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. I do like
At the
that.
end of the day, we just get on with it, you know?
Yep. All right, killers, give us some more questions for Glory, some more questions for Krull. We'll spend another half an hour answering them all with the game paused. All right, take it easy.
Well, in this particular case, there is an important event that will be happening, so I didn't want to interrupt us interrupting the game.
Cliffhanger.
So. That's right. Cliffhanger that started half an hour ago.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't you?
This show.
I bet you can't wait for next week right now. I know I can't. I'm going to though, because it's 11:40 here. I need to stop, but anyway, catch you next week, everybody, or very soon.
Stick and stay, everybody. Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Don't forget how much we love you.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Really let that preoccupy you over the course of the week.
Yeah. That we have love for you. I think we're on Earth. Oh shit. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.